Hi everybody, my name is Lasha and you've reached the channel High Voltage and it is 13:45 on April the 13th. Just on our channel we're doing Meghan Markle trivia on the royal family. So if anybody wants to participate to win $100 because this is a non-donation charity. I'm hoping that these stories build momentum and the subscriptions and the comments. Sorry, I'm very nervous right now. And I don't usually get nervous, but this topic I've never spoken of before, and I think it's time. The last video that I posted where we lived at 4417 Consiglia Court, that was a very honest video and the truth. And I'm the type of person that I try to get through things through laughter. And I watched this amazing interview with this female doctor and another female doctor talking about birth rates, why men and women aren't getting together anymore, why is there so much homelessness, what is happening to our societies. I'm going to go on a little bit of an ADHD rant, but I promise you, if you want to learn about the history of opioids, what they do to you, you've heard all the stories before. This one might be a little different. I don't know. However, some of this includes my issues that I had, particularly when I broke my leg. Opioids. Benzodiazepines I've been on since 2007, a very, very long time. And it took a lot to bring me to this point to actually I had an idea for a podcast to try to make content that people would enjoy, listen, learn something, subscribe, because when you subscribe, you're paying it forward, because anything I make off this channel, 2/3 is going back out into the community. And I've learned how to vet people. And I know who's telling the truth, and you can find out who somebody is in 30 seconds, just the way Candace Owens did. And she looked around me, and she actually went on my channel. And I know she did because she wrote me back a comment, and I've taken pictures of it, and I'm going to read it one day. I have never read it. I've put it up for people to read, but I read it personally. And she said, you have a lot of dark entities and people around you. And she's not psychic. She's just is a critical thinker. And she was right. And then she sent me these words of encouragement, an app number to a certain organization. And I was touched by that. And based on that, and based on truth, and based on what I've learned from, having a wonderful childhood on one side of the family, very difficult on the other, and it splits you in two. And I always remember that movie by The Paperboy with Matthew McConaughey, Zac Efron, Nicole Kidman, and it was the same Daniels, the same gentleman that collaborated with Oprah to create The Butler. And everything that we've learned from Candace Owens and even from Andrew Tate and Russell Brand, and my mother and I are watching The Matrix right now. I've never seen it actually, but I really didn't realize that I was fed a bunch of garbage when I was growing up. But I want to tell you this story. When I was growing up, and when lots of you were growing up, did you ever go or were you ever introduced to different religions? Well, there's the Torah, the Quran, the Bible. They're very lengthy to read. Candace Owens is also starting and has a book club going, and it's about the book Chaos and how our government has been controlling us and everything we do to make the rich richer. Like if Elon Musk took half his money and gave every country something, it could help the people if power was in the right hands. You know, I'm Canadian. There's a election that's going on right now with the Liberal Party. I wanted Doug Ford to get in, but he's the Premier of Ontario. But yeah, I just hope Mark Carney gets in. That's it. Okay, the opioid crisis. Jordon Peterson. Do you think that doesn't have anything to do with the so-called Matrix, which sounds so stupid? But if they were doing experiments on where do you think the 8 balls came in from during the 80s and the 90s and the C epidemic in LA? It was Ronald Reagan. What a hero. Like, I love your thing of Bill Maher about going to the White House and what an honor it is. I get that. I would be honored too. I'd go too. However, the corruption and the blood that all these countries are built on, and why is it that all of these people in power are just so rich? Do you think they care about us? Really? What was Donald's motive in having Bill Maher there? You know, Donald doesn't do anything without a motive, especially when he started picking